I played 100 days of Stardew Valley as a complete beginner. Well, technically I played 112 days because that makes up a full year and there's no reason to stop 12 days before the year ends. I went into these 112 days pretty blind to what the game had to offer and was very surprised with what I experienced. If you want to watch the full playthrough version of these 112 days, the video is coming out soon and I'll link it down below. But without further ado, here we go. I started off by creating my character and naming my farm Starlight Farm because I thought it had a good ring to it. I got a vision of my dead grandpa and a view into my sad corporate life. I made my way into Stardew Valley where I was given a farm and 15 parsnip seeds. I planted my parsnip seeds and made my way into town. I met a bunch of villagers and explored the map, then went to sleep. I woke up the next day and discovered the channels on the TV and that they contain important information like the weather and the luck of the day. I went into town and met Gunther and Clint. I was told by my friends that everyone doesn't like Clint, but I didn't quite understand why. He just seemed a little awkward. I met Willie at the beach and he gave me a bamboo fishing pole, the start to my fishing obsession in this game. I spent the rest of my day meeting even more villagers and wondering why I couldn't move the boulder next to the mines. I spent all of day 3 meeting the rest of the villagers and I even got level 1 fishing. The next day, I donated my first gem to the museum, a malachite. I chopped down a bunch of trees on my farm and was confused on how to craft a chest. I eventually figured it out. There is a crafting menu that I was not aware of, and I crafted my very first item, the chest. I also achieved level 1 foraging. On day 5, my parsnips were finally ready and I harvested them ASAP. I got a letter in the mail from Morris talking about a landslide caused by their drilling team. I'm Team Environment, so I already was a no-go for the JoJo. I bought a backpack upgrade from Pierre's and now I'm broke AF. I also bought some more parsnip seeds to recoup some of my money because I have a whopping 12 gold. I went to bed for the night and reached level 1 farming. I crafted my first scarecrow to prevent any crows on my farm and got the community center cutscene. I was introduced to the Junimos and to be honest, I thought they were apples at first. They really do look like apples. I wanted to find the mines and after being lost for the entire day, I finally figured out that there was a map in this game. I made my way up and met Marlin who introduced me to the mines, gave me a rustic sword, and challenged me to become an adventurer. On day 7, Clint stopped by my house and gave me a recipe for a furnace. I got a letter in the mail from the wizard asking me to stop by his house so he could tell me more about the rat problem in the community center. I made my way over and thought I had walked into a seance. He did his little magic thing, I saw little magic trees, and now I could understand the Junimo language. I went and gave Mayor Lewis some chocolate chip cookies for his birthday that I found in the trash can right outside his house. Yum. I finished off my day exploring the mines for the first time and reached level 5. I received a letter in the mail from Marlin challenging me to slay 10 slimes in order to earn my spot in the Adventurers Guild. Challenge accepted. I donated some more items to the museum from my mining trip the previous night. I also decided that I wanted to romance Alex. He reminded me the most of my partner, and I tried to give him a quartz for a gift. He hated it, and I was sad. I donated some spring foraging items to the community center and ran into Leah, who asked me why I decided to become a farmer. I told her that I wanted to escape my old life. I went back into the mines for a little bit and made it to level 10. On my way back, I found a horseradish, which was the last item I needed for the spring foraging bundle. I quickly scurried over to the community center, donated that puppy, and got some spring seeds as a reward. I planted those spring seeds back at the farm and ran to bed before I ran out of energy, and I woke up to level 1 mining. I learned the recipe for stir fry. I'm not sure how I'm going to make that since I don't have a stove or anything to make it with. I walked outside to a surprise visit from Marnie, who asked if I wanted to adopt a stray cat. I said yes, of course, and named it Soju after my very own firstborn kitten. Willie sent me a letter letting me know that I can now craft fish bait for my fishing rod. I gave Harvey a parsnip thinking he would like it because it's a vegetable, and in return he told me to cover my mouth when I sneeze. Thanks, Harv. I left to talk to Alex and he told me that he'd ask me to play catch if I wasn't a girl. Excuse me, but girls can play catch too, you know? I let him know that and he said he underestimated me. Good response. I spent the rest of my day fishing around town. I got a letter in the mail from Robin saying that she lost her axe and needed help finding it. No problem, Robin, I got you. I followed the map and headed south and found a bunch of spring onions in the ground. How the heck did these get here? I looked around for a few more in-game hours and literally could not find the axe anywhere. So I made my first trip to the Stardew Valley wiki and looked it up there. No shame in the game. I returned the axe to Robin and accepted my reward. I threw some forageables that I found into the shipping bin and went mining for the rest of the day. This is where I first discovered those little flying bug maggot things. I don't know what they're called, but they're one of my least favorite enemies to this day. Oh, and I found my very first dwarf scroll. Day 12 consisted of mining and more mining. On my way back into town, I ran into George and Linus, and George thought Linus was a raccoon. Turns out Linus was just hungry, but Gus was there and he gave him some spicy marinara. I'm now a Gus stan for life. The Egg Festival is here. Before heading over, I made sure to check my mail and got a letter from Hat Mouse telling me that he sells hat poke. I also received 500 gold from my dad, which came in clutch later. I went over to visit Hat Mouse and realized that I was way too broke to buy any of his hats at the moment. So I decided to head into town and get the Egg Festival started. I saw online that you should buy as many strawberry seeds as you can from the Egg Festival, so that's exactly what I did. I literally spent all my money on strawberry seeds. I made my rounds to talk to all of the villagers and told Mayor Lewis that I was ready for the egg hunt. I didn't know what to expect, so I just ran around in panic trying to find as many eggs as I could. To my surprise, I won! And I got a straw hat as a prize. Now I look like a real farmer. When the festival was over, I headed straight to bed. I donated some fish I caught in the previous days to the lake fish bundle and gifted Alex a parsnip. I also headed to the museum and donated my first dwarf scroll. I remembered that I had slayed the 10 slimes for Marlin and made my way to the Adventurers Guild where I met Gil. I decided to fish for the rest of the day, which was a disappointment because I just kept getting algae over and over. I crafted my very first furnace and threw some copper ore into it. Days 15 to 23 consisted of lots of fishing and mining. Really, that's all I did while I waited for the flower dance to come. I got a letter in the mail from Dad with another 500 gold enclosed. I love Dad. My cauliflower finally finished growing, which is perfect because I needed it for the community center. I also got enough iron to craft my first sprinkler, which waters the 4 adjacent tiles. I had to ask my friend about the sprinkler pattern, and all I have to say is, what the heck? I headed down to the flower dance and bought a seasonal plant from Pierre to decorate my house with. I made my round talking to all the villagers, not even realizing that I could ask them to dance with me. Oh well, we'll save that for next year. The dance started and I had to sit back and watch Alex dance with Haley. I'll get him next year, I swear. I woke up to a notification that my copper axe was ready for pickup, so I quickly rushed over to Clint's and got that bad boy back. I opened some geodes and got nothing new. I dropped off the last item for the crab pot bundle and got some more crab pots in return. I didn't really need them, but thanks anyways. The boiler room opened with even more bundles to complete, which warmed my mining-addicted heart. I also went to drop off my cauliflower to complete my spring crops bundle, which opened the bulletin board bundle. We're making some good progress now. It was now past noon, so I rushed over to the saloon and bought some salads for my mining trip, where I spent the rest of my day slaying slimes. I left the mines a little too late and passed out for the very first time. That's fine though, because I reached level 3 mining. My parsnips were done growing and I was hoping for some gold quality ones for the bundle. Sadly, I got none. I had enough money to buy the coop and rushed to Robin's, only to realize that she wasn't there and was only open from 9 to 5 on most days. What the heck does most days mean? I decided to place a chest right outside of the community center to store bundle items for future donations. I went to sleep and reached level 4 farming and foraging. My strawberries were ready to harvest and oh boy was I excited. I knew that I was going to get some cash money. I had one preserve jar and threw a single strawberry in it to test how much gold it would sell for. Earlier, I got the quest to get 25 copper ore for Clint, so I headed to his shop and gifted him a single ore. He told me that it made him depressed, and I was very confused, only to realize that I had to mine 25 fresh copper ore. So I headed over to the mines and hunted for copper. I made it down to level 45 and was satisfied with my progress for the day and went back home. I tried Robin's again, and this time I found her behind her shop's counter. I gave her the money, wood, and stone to construct my very first coop. I placed the coop by one of the ponds and let Robin get to work. I also donated the remaining dwarf scrolls to the museum and got a dwarvish translation guide, which I'm not really sure what to do with. Jody gave me a request to bring her a cauliflower, but since it's day 28 of spring, I don't think that's gonna happen this year. Summer is officially here, aka the best music in the game, in my opinion. I started the season by clearing all of the dead crops on my farm and planted some melon seeds. I gave my cat some water and started my journey of hunting for the new season's forageables. I stopped by Pierre's to grab some melon, tomato, and blueberry seeds for the farm. I also stopped by the museum to donate a fossil and realized that Alex works the ice cream stand during the summer. How cute! Then I went to the ocean and went fishing for the rest of the day. Demetrius came to visit me on my farm and asked me to choose between a mushroom or a fruit cave. I didn't know what to pick, so I looked it up on Reddit and they told me to choose mushrooms, so that's what I did. Looking back, I for sure made the wrong choice and I feel like I got bamboozled, but it's okay. I headed over to the community center only to realize that the chest that I put there previously had disappeared. Apparently the villagers bulldoze over them if they're in the way, so that's a bummer. I headed inside to complete my summer foraging bundle, which in turn opened up the vault room. I got a little too excited and automatically completed the 2500 gold bundle for some chocolate cake, which I decided to save for Alex's upcoming birthday. Spoiler alert, I did not give him that chocolate cake on his birthday. I wanted to finish the rest of the day by fishing, but got stopped by Willie telling me about his old friend in the back. I still haven't met that friend. Day 31 through 38 consisted of, you guessed it, fishing and mining. The luau is fast approaching and I got some new tasks, one being to find Mayor Lewis's shorts, very suspicious. I threw some hay into the silo and said hello to my new chickens. I made my way down to the luau and explored the festivities. The governor was there and he reminded me of that grandma from Howl's Moving Castle. Marnie told me to donate an item to the large soup in the middle, so I decided to throw in a gold quality egg. The mayor tasted the soup and said that it was just average. I was upset because this was my very first gold chicken egg and I felt like I wasted it on this stupid, average soup. Mayor Lewis looked disappointed and confirmed that the soup was meh. I left the luau sad about my egg and I went straight to sleep. I ran over to the beach to grab some bait and was stopped by an Alex cutscene where he asked to play some grid ball with me. I happily agreed but fumbled the ball, but he told me it was okay and that it was still fun. I couldn't believe I was falling for a small, pixelated, meat-headed man. I stopped by to talk to Haley and she asked me what Alex was up to. I said no, you don't need to know that, and I walked away. On my way home, I stopped by Marnie's to give her a gift in hopes of getting my friendship level up to get those stinkin' shorts. My melon and tomatoes were ready to harvest, which made me excited for the money that was to come. I fished in the mountain lake hoping for a sturgeon but had no luck. I accepted a quest to give Maru a Jojo Cola and remembered to stop by Alex's place to give him a birthday gift. I gave him a pizza because everyone likes pizza and he said it was nice, I guess. I completely forgot about the chocolate cake. At least he didn't hate it. I went fishing and was able to catch the last fish I needed for the ocean bundle. I rushed over to the community center and quickly donated them for a beach warp totem. I went to sleep and got 1100 gold for my crops and I felt like a rich bitch. I woke up to a request from Pam asking for a pale ale. I didn't have a keg, so I was going to have to figure out that part first. I gifted Maru the Jojo Cola that she had asked for and opened some geodes over at Clint's. I donated the new items to the museum and got this cool painting as a reward, which I promptly put up in my house. Day 46, I bought some hay for Marnie for the fodder bundle and headed over to the Adventurers Guild where I got an insect head sword from Gil. I headed down into the mines to look for earth crystals because I wanted to make a mayo machine. After finding my first earth crystal, I headed back to the farm and made the first machine, which I placed inside my coop. I completed the geologist bundle and received my first set of Omni Geodes, which was really cool. This was also the last bundle I needed to complete the boiler room, which was my very first completed community center room. Watching the Junimo place the star on the board was so cute. The reward for completing the boiler room was the mine carts, and I was confused on how they worked. I tried to use them right away and nothing happened, so I felt like I got conned by the Junimos. I went to sleep that night and the mine carts were fixed overnight. Demetrius sent me a letter in the mail asking for a fresh melon to complete some experiment he was working on. Lucky for him, my melons had just finished growing, so I had one ready. I headed up to his house to deliver the melon and got my cash reward. I finally had enough money to buy the last backpack upgrade, so I quickly made my way to Pierre's. Summer was almost over, so I knew that I had to catch a sturgeon ASAP. I made my way up to the mountain lake and was lucky enough to catch it on the first try. I rushed to the community center and chucked that bad boy into the lake fish bundle, completing it and getting a dress spinner as a reward. Skipping ahead to day 56, it was the night of the dance of the Moonlight Jellies. This particular event intrigued me because I had no idea what to expect. Since the festival wasn't until 10 p.m., I spent my day doing some farming, checking out my newborn, and I bought 2 cows and named them Bromo and Walito. I quickly ran over to visit them, and boy are they cute. I had nothing to do for the rest of the day, so I headed to the mines and made it to floor 109 when the Dance of the Moonlight Jelly started, and I ran to the beach, scared that I would miss it. Looking back, I should have just gone for floor 110. This isn't my favorite holiday, but the cutscene was pretty and I enjoyed the music. Today is the first day of fall, and I crafted my very first quality sprinkler. I ran around town to collect all of the new fall forageables and stopped by Pierre's to grab some new fall seeds. I bought a few of each to plant back at the farm. I made the realization that I could finally enter Alex's room, and when I did, he ignored me because he was too busy working out. Of course he is. This reminded me that I might have enough friendship to enter Marnie's room, so I quickly ran over, and lucky for me, the door opened. I grabbed those nasty purple shorts off of the ground and shoved them into my pockets. I spent the rest of my day fishing for the fall fish I needed for the community center. The next day, I ran into Mayor Lewis and Robin creating a special orders board in town. I let them know that I was on board and would accept special quests as they came through. We're skipping ahead to day 72 because I was a fool and I didn't record in between. Don't worry, you didn't really miss anything, it was just a lot of fishing and mining, no surprise. I got to the bottom of the mines and got the skull key, which I needed to figure out how to use later. Today is the day of the Stardew Valley Fair, so I made sure I had all of the ingredients that I wanted to show off in my inventory. I decided to go for a mix of gold and iridium quality crops, fish, and artisan goods. I headed into town and set up my grange display. I explored the fair and the crystal ball told me that me and Alex would be happy in a field of grass. Weirdly specific, but okay. I bet all of my star coins away on the wheel and decided I would have better luck at the fishing game to get the star coins that I needed. I ended up buying a star drop and the taste reminded me of animals. I was ready for the display judging and I won. I'm on a great streak of winning in each festival so far. Take that, Pierre. I got a letter in the mail from Linus saying that the mountain lake has been kind to him lately and he gifted me a catfish. I made my rounds petting my animals, especially my new goat named Bus. I need goat cheese for the artisan bundle, so Bus needs to start producing ASAP. It's Sunday, so I visited the traveling cart and bought nothing. Not really surprising. I accepted a quest from Clint asking for a single piece of seaweed. Easy peasy. I gave Robin a piece of wood for her birthday, thinking it would be a good gift since she's a carpenter, and she hated it. I ran into Abigail and she told me that she was thinking of dyeing her hair again. I told her that I liked her hair the way it is and she said, of course you would say that. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but from the way she rolled her eyes, I'm going to assume it's bad. I then went over to Willie's and grabbed my first iridium tool, the iridium rod. Then I realized that you could fix the bridge at the beach for only 300 wood, so I did that and explored the forageables that were over there. I was bored, so I decided to go to the saloon and try my hand at Junimo Kart. It was really bad, and I don't think I'll ever be playing it again. I delivered the seaweed to Clint and made a whopping 60 gold in return. I woke up to a Best Neighbor award from Mayor Lewis and 500 gold. Thanks for the free money. I accepted a quest to slay some red monsters in the mines for Mayor Lewis, so I went and did just that. I even leveled up to level 7 combat. I donated an aquamarine to the community center, leaving me only 2 more items for the dye bundle. I got my slime money from Lewis and accepted another quest from Linus to clean up trash around the community. I decided to fish for trash in my farm because I never get any fish from there anyways, and was able to complete the trash quest within the same day. I threw the trash into the recycling bin and collected my money. When I went to go chat with Linus, he told me that someone spray painted his tent. Poor Linus. Linus sent me a crafting recipe for fiber seeds in the mail. Thank you, Linus, but I'm not really sure where I'm going to use that. I finally got some goat cheese, which I quickly placed in the artisan bundle. I got a cutscene with George and Penny where Penny pushed George's wheelchair out of the way. I said I was just minding my own business, but in hindsight, I should have told Penny that she should have asked George first. I also told Penny that I'd rather die young, and she wasn't happy with that answer and walked away from me. Elliot requested a fire quartz and I accepted. I have plenty. I delivered the pale ale to Pam and she was happy with the delivery, and I was happy for the 350 gold. I gifted the fire quartz to Elliot and spent the rest of my day fishing for money. On day 82, I had no goal for today, so I was just exploring around town. My ultimate goal is to get 25k for the vault bundle. I ran into the mariner at the little beach section and he told me I wasn't ready for him. Ready for what? If you tell me what I need to get ready for, I will get ready. Then, remembering that it's Friday, I stopped by the traveling cart and she was selling a duck feather. I grabbed it so fast and donated it to the community center. I woke up to my first battery pack from the lightning rod. I didn't know that they did that, so that was a pleasant surprise. A lot of my crops finished growing, so I could finally try to make some wine for the first time. I ran into Linus taking a bath in the mountain lake, which was a very weird experience to think that I was hiding in a bush watching someone bathe. I cleaned up my farm for a bit before making my way towards Spirit's Eve. I ran into Linus on the way there, and he taught me how to make my own fishing bait. I gotta say, that is not what I thought he was teaching me when the lesson started. Anyways, I arrived at the Spirit's Eve festival and the scenery was so cool. No wonder it took all day to set up. Everyone kept talking about a maze, so I headed up and made my way through. I was disappointed that you couldn't go inside the creepy house at the end, but at least I got a golden pumpkin, which I promptly displayed on my dining table. Today was a really good day. I reached level 9 farming and level 9 fishing, unlocking the Iridium Sprinkler crafting recipe. I also made 4,500 gold overnight, which helped me reach my goal of 25k. Today is the last day of fall, and I finally got 5 gold quality pumpkins for the community center. I stopped by the traveling cart and picked up a pomegranate, yet another thing for the community center, and I was hyped. I reached 8 hearts with Alex, and upon Googling, figured out that I could give him a bouquet to ask him to be my boyfriend. I ran to Pierre's, bought a bouquet, and threw it at Alex. He blushed and accepted, saying he was nervous and was waiting for me to ask. Afterwards, I ran up to the community center to donate some items and complete the 25k vault bundle to repair the bus. I got a crystallarium as a reward and repaired the room. I wish I had a vault that big in my own home office. Today is the first day of winter. I heard that you can't do much in the winter time, so I came into the season with a bit of hesitation on what I could accomplish. I started to head my way to the bus stop since the bus just got repaired, and I ran into a weird shadowy figure running away from me. "Excuse me, sir, but who are you?" I stopped by the special orders board and accepted Robin's request to collect 1,000 stone in 1 week. I decided to try out the bus stop and travel to the Calico Desert for the very first time. I met the desert trader and Sandy in her shop. She seems cool and I really liked her hair. I stumbled across the entrance to the Skull Cavern and ventured in for the very first time. I was extremely unprepared with my low-level sword and iron pickaxe. I started to get swarmed by some snakes, so I quickly left. I finished the day by collecting all of the new winter forageables and donating them to the community center, which completed the craft room and the bridge repair. Robin sent me a letter to let me know that she is now selling a wood chipper in her shop. I also got a letter from someone named Mr. Chi, who challenged me to reach level 25 in the Skull Cavern. Willie sent me a letter asking me to catch a squid for him, and I had no choice but to accept. I decided to see the bridge repair and explored the quarry for the first time. I was happy about it because I needed the stone for Robin's request anyway. There was a little cave, so I went in and was not expecting to get attacked by red glowing skulls chasing after me. One of them dropped a prismatic shard, and I was super excited because I had heard all about these things all over TikTok. And I made my way to the end of this little cave and got a golden scythe as a reward. So I mentioned TikTok, and I saw on there that you should bring your first prismatic shard to the desert for a new sword instead of giving it to Gunther. So I rushed over to the desert and got myself a galaxy sword. Thank you, TikTok. I wanted to test it out right away, so I headed straight into the Skull Cavern. I made it to a whopping 12 floors before I got attacked by a snake and was rushed to the hospital. Luckily, I didn't lose anything important, but I was out of 1,000 gold. Pierre is at my front door to tell me that he is going to sell new crops in year 2. Thanks for the heads up, Pierre. I got a quest from Clint to give Emily an amethyst on behalf of him. I don't understand why Clint can't just give Emily the gem herself, but okay. Robin also sent me a crafting recipe for a stone chest. I thought it was something special, but it's literally the same thing as a regular chest, but made out of stone. I stopped by the traveling cart and picked up a large egg and sandfish for the community center. I also bought a snowman rare crow because I made the executive decision to try and collect all of the rare crows. I headed up to the community center to finish the specialty fish bundle, completing the fish tank and removing the glittering boulder. I pet my cat Soju and he told me that he loved me. This was by far the best part of the day. I decided to try my hand at cooking and made a fried egg for the chef's bundle. My next goal was to get 10k gold to build a bigger coop with an incubator. I got a dinosaur egg from fishing, and I read online that you should incubate the egg. Walking into my barn, Bus finally gave me a large goat milk, which is the last item that I needed for the animal bundle. Gus had a request for 2 dozen eggs for a giant omelet, and since I have a lot of chickens, I accepted. I headed over to the Festival of Ice and checked out all of the snowmen. I told Penny that she should make a funky snowman, but I never got to find out if that came true. I put my name in the ice fishing competition and was stressed for the entire 2 minutes of fishing. I got 5 fish and I won the competition. I've been able to win every single festival in my first year and I was feeling pretty good. I spent days 93 to 98 exploring the Skull Cavern and figuring out some of the best ways to get down. I didn't get much loot, but I got enough iridium ore to make some bars. I finally got my coop upgraded and quickly went to incubate my dinosaur egg. I accidentally mistook the mayo machine for the incubator and threw my egg in there. Upon realization, I reset the day and did it right the second time. I went into town to find the shadowy figure. I followed the footprints by the playground, and it gave me a magnifying glass so that I could now find and read secret notes. I accepted a quest to slay 6 red slimes on the local mine, and accepted another quest to get 80 hardwood for Robin. I headed up to the mines to find some lava slimes. During my quest, I stumbled upon a secret note telling me to check the bush above the playground at noon sharp on the last day of the season. I finished slaying all 6 slimes and headed on up. The night festival started, so I headed over to check it out. I ran into Emily and gave her the amethyst for Clint. When I went to tell her it was from Clint, she thought I got it from Clint, and then she gave me a kiss. Awkward! I went into the submarine and caught some weird looking fish. My new favorite is a blobfish. It looks really goofy. I stopped by the different merchants and explored their inventory. I didn't end up buying anything really because most of them were wall items and I didn't have any more wall space in my house. I headed into the secret boat at the end and experienced the weirdest opera singing mermaid cutscene. I looked up what to do after since I didn't want to miss anything and played a little tune of the shells in front of me and I got a pearl as a reward. Fancy! Emily sent me a recipe on how to make a salad at my own house, and I bought a cauliflower from the night market which I delivered to Jody, completing her request for a cauliflower from the very last spring. When I entered the house, Sam and Sebastian were having a jam session, and I told them that I liked high-energy dance music. Sam was excited and said that was also his vision for the band, but Sebastian didn't seem so thrilled. I finally discovered the secret woods and explored that area. The giant statue of Old Master Cannoli told me that he's still searching for the sweetest taste. I'm not sure what that is and I still don't really know, but I'm sure I'll find out someday. I delivered the last of the 2 dozen eggs to Gus for his giant omelet. On my way home, I cracked open a cold one with Shane and got to learn a little bit more about his backstory. I'm starting to grow a new appreciation for him. Gus thanked me for the eggs I delivered by gifting me a mini fridge, which fit perfectly in my kitchen. Clint asked for an iron bar to smelt some new metals. I quickly ran an iron bar over to him so I wouldn't forget, and I got the cutscene of everyone trying Gus's giant omelet. It looked good, but it also looked nasty, and it was way too big. I got a letter in the mail from Mayor Lewis telling me about the Feast of the Winter Star. He said that we get a secret friend each year, and this year I got Sam. I decided right there and then that I would give him pizza because it was easy to get. I finished Robin's hardwood quest and ran over to deliver the wood. Mayor Lewis sent me another letter telling me that if I wanted to marry someone that I would have to give them a mermaid pendant. Alex also gave me a letter to meet him at the saloon after dark. Fast forward to nighttime and I met Alex at the saloon where he surprised me with a private dinner date. It was so cute. Gus was playing the violin and Alex was professing his love for me. The only thing that ruined it was the jump scare from Dusty at the end. On day 108, Emily stopped by my house and let me know that I could use her sewing machine if I had any cloth laying around. I got a secret note asking me to bring maple syrup to the secret woods, but I don't think maple trees grow in the winter, so that would have to wait. I went to Marnie's to buy some hay and ran into her trying to wake up Shane. Instead of waking him up nicely, I somehow decided to pour my watering can on him, which ended up doing the trick, but I don't know why you would pour water on someone like that. The more Shane cutscenes I watch, the more I understand why he was so standoffish in the beginning, and I'm starting to like him a bit more. I got another secret note telling me to look behind the community center, so I went to search around. I ended up finding a stone Junimo statue, which was so cute. I wanted to get something from Robin's, but ended up walking into an argument between Robin and Demetrius about the beauty versus utility of the hardwood bed. Men just don't understand beauty, you know, and so I agreed with Robin. And when that was over, I paid for the deluxe barn upgrade so that I could finally get some pigs. Gunther stopped by my door to thank me for donating things to the museum. I wish he gave me the golden shovel reward he talked about, but I guess he just kept it for himself? Linus sent me a Maki roll in the mail, which I was grateful for because I could donate it to the community center. Today was the Feast of the Winter Star, so I made my way into Pelican Town. I gave Sam his pizza and he was grateful. And I found out that I was Gus's secret friend, and he gave me some deluxe speed grow. I was grateful for the poop in the bag. Thanks, Gus. Today is the last day of winter and the last day of year 1. I put some pathing down around my farm to make walking around easier. I checked up on my new pig and sheep in hopes to age them up soon, and my dino egg finally hatched and I named it Slutsy. I made my way to the bush behind the playground at exactly noon and clicked on the bush to receive a giant Junimo plush. This was even better than the stone Junimo statue. It's so cute! I spent the rest of my day clearing my farm in preparation for the new year tomorrow. And just like that, it was the start of year 2 already. I can't believe it took me this long to play Stardew Valley, and now that I have, I'm obsessed. I have some goals for year 2. Complete the community center, reach level 100 in the Skull Cavern, and make a buttload of money. I didn't really have any goals in year 1 because I really didn't know what to expect. If you like this video, I'm going to be releasing the full playthrough movie of all the episodes that I had previously published. If you want to watch me play more Stardew, I stream and post playthroughs every week. Also, let me know if you want to see a 200 days video and I can make that happen. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it and I appreciate all the support. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you all later.